Jerusalem. Perched on a ridge of the Judean hills, Jerusalem is neither the largest nor the richest of cities. Yet it has drawn kings and prophets and conquerors and pilgrims for over 3,000 years. To billions across the globe, Jerusalem is not just a place on the map. It is a symbol of faith, a battleground of memory, and a hope for redemption. So, what is Jerusalem, and why does it matter? For millennia, Jerusalem has been the meeting point of heaven and earth. Welcome to the first episode of the Jerusalem series. For the next 4 weeks, we will explore the city that changed the world. The earliest traces of Jerusalem go back to the Bronze Age, when a small Canaanite settlement stood on its hills. Known in ancient Egyptian records as Ur-Salim, meaning foundation of Shalem, it was already linked to a deity and a sacred aura. Around 1000 BCE, King David captured the city and made it the capital of his United Kingdom of Israel. His son, Solomon, built the first temple, transforming Jerusalem into the spiritual heart of the Jewish people. But history would not be kind. In 586 BCE, the Babylonians destroyed the temple and exiled much of the Jewish population. Even so, Jerusalem's hold on Jewish memory only deepened. When the Persians allowed the exiles to return, a second temple was raised. For centuries, pilgrims streamed to Jerusalem, offering sacrifices and prayers, binding their identity to this sacred city. For Jews, Jerusalem is more than a city. It is the eternal home of God's presence. The Temple Mount, known as Har HaBayit, was the center of Jewish worship, law, and life. Even after Rome destroyed the Second Temple in 70 CE, Jews carried its memory into every prayer and tradition. The Western Wall, a surviving remnant of the temple platform, became a focus of longing. In daily prayers, Jews turned toward Jerusalem. At Passover, they declared, "Next year in Jerusalem." The city symbolized hope, resilience, and the promise of return. For Christians, Jerusalem is the stage of the most central events in their faith. It was here that Jesus preached, was crucified, and, according to Christian belief, rose from the dead. Pilgrims trace the Via Dolorosa, the path of the crucifixion, leading to the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, built over the sites of Jesus' death and resurrection. From the earliest centuries, Jerusalem became a place of pilgrimage. To walk its streets was to touch the heart of the gospel. The city embodies sacrifice, redemption, and the hope of eternal life. Even today, millions of Christians travel to Jerusalem to reconnect with the story of their faith. Jerusalem also holds a sacred place in Islam. According to tradition, the Prophet Muhammad was taken on the night journey from Mecca to Jerusalem, and from there ascended to heaven. The Dome of the Rock, with its golden roof, was built in the 7th century to honor this moment. Nearby stands Al-Aqsa Mosque, the third holiest site in Islam after Mecca and Medina. For Muslims, Jerusalem is Al-Quds, the holy. It represents God's power, the unity of prophets, and a link between heaven and earth. Throughout Islamic history, rulers and scholars alike emphasized its importance. Making it a center of Jerusalem's sacred status also made it a prize for empires. The Romans demolished its temple, but built monumental architecture. The Byzantines filled it with churches. Muslim caliphates adorned it with mosques and schools. Then came the Crusaders, who captured Jerusalem in 1099, establishing a Christian kingdom, only for Saladin to take it less than a century later. The Ottomans held it for 4 centuries, surrounding it with walls that still stand today. Under each ruler, Jerusalem was reshaped, yet it remained a city claimed by many and never forgotten by any. In the 20th century, Jerusalem entered a new era of conflict. After centuries under Ottoman rule, Britain took control during World War I. With the creation of Israel in 1948, Jerusalem became divided. Israel controlled the west, Jordan the east, including the Old City. In 1967, during the Six-Day War, Israel captured East Jerusalem, reuniting the city under its authority. Today, Jerusalem remains deeply contested. Israel declares it its capital, while Palestinians see East Jerusalem as the future capital of their state. The city is home to sacred shrines, divided neighborhoods, and international debates that rarely find resolution. Why does Jerusalem matter so much? Because it is more than stone and soil. It is memory, identity, and hope made visible. To Jews, it is the eternal capital. To Christians, it is where salvation unfolded. To Muslims, it is a holy link between earth and heaven. And to the world, it is a symbol of humanity's search for God, justice, and peace. Jerusalem stands as a paradox. It unites billions in faith, yet divides nations in conflict. It inspires devotion, yet stirs rivalry. And through all its struggles, Jerusalem endures, a living testimony to the power of belief. So, what is Jerusalem? It is not just a city of the past, but a city of the present, alive with prayer, tension, and dreams. It matters because it carries the stories of three faiths, countless peoples, and a world still seeking meaning. And whether seen as a promise, a prize, or a prophecy, Jerusalem remains what it has always been, the city that matters. Jerusalem is more than a city of Islamic. It is a story that refuses to end. A story of faith, conflict, and hope that continues to shape our world. Every stone, every prayer, every sunrise over its walls reminds the world that Jerusalem is not just part of history. It is history still alive. You've been watching the Jerusalem series. Journey with us next week. We'll step inside its ancient heart, the Old City. If you enjoyed this journey, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more explorations of the cities and histories that still matter today.